Pocket Anime Early Access just came out, and I did not expect this much drama out of this situation. And it mostly revolves around people being mad that they're charging $25 for essentially a demo of the game. And a lot of people spent the $25 expecting a lot more in early access that just simply wasn't there. But let me actually explain what I mean by that and explain everything that happened revolving early access yesterday. So the first thing I want to do is actually clarify my personal opinion on the actual game that I played yesterday. And just for context, I finished the entire early access in one day, which is kind of the problem for most people and definitely the biggest problem for myself. But the actual quality of the game was definitely not disappointing at all, and I honestly was really happy with it. It's one of the funnest experiences I've had on Roblox in a long time. For those that still don't know somehow, Pocket Anime is essentially Pokemon, but instead of Pokemon, you have different anime characters from different verses. And if you like turn-based games or just Pokemon type games in general, I genuinely do believe you will enjoy this game. Pretty much everything I expected outside of a few minor issues was there in terms of the core gameplay. And that's honestly a really good sign, because that essentially means they just need to keep working and adding content to the game, and eventually we'll get a full game that's really good. But I guess the biggest problem is the version we played of the game yesterday is so far from a full game. For context, they released with a starter village that you spawn at, so essentially the starter town and one route, just one route, nothing else in the game. Now, to be fair to them, that one route that they did have was really high quality, one of the best routes I think I've played in almost any Pokemon game ever. Now, if they can keep that same quality for every route in the game, that's definitely a really good thing. Like, this route was really high quality. I'm just trying to put it in context for those of you that haven't played it. But regardless of if this route is the best route of all time, at the end of the day, it's still only one route, and the city that also came out has also very little content to do there. And the biggest problem with this, in my opinion, is the game has been in development for close to 2 years minimum. The first trailer came out almost 2 years ago, and probably has been in development for maybe even over 2 years. So to get such a little amount of content in that type of time frame is really where the problem is, in my opinion. Now, we have no idea how much more content that they do have that they just haven't shown us yet, but I mean, I would assume it's at least a decent amount. But what I am really worried about knowing this is the update times. I mean, let's think about it realistically. If it's taking this long to get the game out, the updates I assume wouldn't be very much faster. Oh, I also forgot to mention, for those that weren't there yesterday, there was no evolutions in the game. Like, you could not evolve anything. There was also no gyms in the game yet, if that wasn't obvious, and also the max level your Animon or Pokemon could get to was level 16. But now that you guys actually understand all the context, let me explain the quote-unquote drama that was there. So obviously, if you don't know already, they're selling early access for $25. But the thing is, a lot of those people that bought it were expecting a lot more content, and I really don't blame them. I mean, you're spending $25 on something, you know it is early access, so you might not be expecting the full game, but you might expect like at least a gym or something. So I do understand why a lot of the people that spent $25 are mad. I mean, you spent $25 for less than a day of content. But what a lot of people were mad at is they didn't tell us any of this until 7 minutes before release, and a ton of people, over 1,000 people, already bought early access at that point. And I'll put what he said on screen, but he said the testing phase is only gonna last a week, so after a week the game will close again. And a lot of people were expecting to be able to play the game for the entire period up until real release, so I do understand why a lot of people were mad at that. But then they also mentioned that there will only be 2 big areas on the early access phase, and those 2 big areas are Sunburst Valley and Sunburst Forest, which are essentially the city that I was telling you about in the one route. And then they also said that your data will not save. A lot of people would not have bought the game, I promise you wouldn't have, if they knew that their data was not going to save, and they're going to have to replay this. Now, to be fair to the Pocket Anime team, I'm not saying they're being intentionally deceiving here. I think it could just be an unfortunate situation. In my opinion, Pocket Anime has handled everything very well up until this point, and they were very professional while doing it. So I'm definitely willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. But what I will say is a lot of people are definitely not giving up the benefit of the doubt. I mean, a lot of us, including myself, I definitely jumped to conclusions. I mean, I saw a lot of stuff in the trailer, so I would assume that we would get a lot in the game. I wasn't expecting everything in the trailer, but there was like damn near 5 to 10 areas in the trailer. I was at least expecting like 1 or 2 full arcs. And that's why, to me personally, this felt more like a demo. It felt like I was getting what the game was about, but I really didn't play much of the game, and I feel like it's even a stretch to call this early access of a full game. Now, I'm not gonna lie, as a content creator that got the game for free, and they've also treated us content creators very nice, it's hard for me to be mad about this. I mean, I still got to play a day full of fun content for free, and I got treated very well, so I mean, it's hard for me to be mad at them, but at the same time, if I did spend $25, I could definitely see myself being mad. So I guess the good news is the game is living up to my personal expectations, but I guess the bad news is it might be a while until we get the full game. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna ask me, is the game worth the $25? And if I'm being honest at this point, I would definitely say no, but there is a big unless to that note. If we are able to test every phase that's added through the game up until the actual release of the game, I might actually think it is worth the $25. Like, let's say the game ends up releasing with 3 gyms to the public for free, but every time they added a gym, we were able to go and play on that gym and go test it out and whatnot, I actually think it might be worth it for me personally. But realistically, just speaking to you guys generally, I would say it's not worth $25 and it's just a safer move to wait. If any of the Pocket Anime team is watching this, definitely try to let us know if we are going to be able to test more than just this one phase, because I feel like a lot of people will be a lot happier if they know that's going to be a thing. But if y'all want to hit the like and subscribe button, it does a lot for the algorithm and it only takes like 1 second. And also, if you want to click this video right here, that's a good video, I promise you.